Recently, I saw some videos on YouTube talking about how camping is hard and camping is not fun. So I thought it was time to make a video to share with everyone about how camping can be easy and it can be fun. Sure, weather, other situations can make camping a little more difficult. A lot of us have run into those loud, pesky neighbors that decide they need to party until wee hours of the morning, and we're just trying to chill and relax. And other times the weather wreaks havoc. I remember we took some good friends of ours on their first camping trip, and we practically had monsoon rains the first night. It was horrible. It probably scarred them for life. And I've been trying to get them to go tent camping again since that fateful night. They went one other time, and they're not interested, and I don't blame them. I mean, that was absolutely freaking horrible. I felt bad. I will say they've come around a little bit and are a little more interested in camping as long as the accommodations are better. But how can we avoid those kind of horror stories for other people? Let's find out. So this isn't a video just for tent campers. This is for RV campers, for people that maybe want to stealth camp in a parking lot, which you guys are crazy, but hey, go for it. This is for everyone. We got a list of 10 things that we can do to make your camping trips a little more easy and relaxing. So one of the first things I'll mention is plan. Plan to be spontaneous also, but you want to plan. You want to make sure that you have a reservation. If you're going to a place that doesn't accept reservations, try to get there early and have a backup plan. If you are in an RV or travel trailer, you want to make sure that your vehicle will fit in the spot that you are booking. If you are in a tent, you want to see what is the place like. I mean, sometimes you can find reviews of campgrounds, sometimes you can't. There are some campgrounds that don't allow tent campers, and some campgrounds that don't allow RVs and travel trailers. So it's important to get a little bit of information and plan your trip before you head out. Another important thing to consider is shelter. Do you have a tent that you're going to use? Are there any leaks in it? Have you taken the steps to protect yourself from rain by having an extra tarp or a rain fly so that if it does rain, you have a little extra protection to keep you from the element? I know there's been numerous camping trips where it has been torrential downpours and made it miserable, and we were stuck in a tent. But we had taken a canopy and tarps with us, and that helped keep the weather off of us a little bit. And if you're in your RV, is your spare tire good? Do you know if your brakes work fine? Do all of your lights work perfectly good? Is your water tank sanitized so when you get to the campground, you don't get that awful smell? We got it right after we became RV owners, and man, what a rude awakening. So those are things to definitely consider when you're heading out. Are you going to be camping with friends or by yourself? Do you have any backup activities in case the weather does get bad? Cards, board games, anything like that. Especially when it comes to having younger campers along with you, you definitely want to have something that keeps their attention so that if you do get stuck inside your RV or your tent, there are things to do instead of sit there looking at phones and tablets. And regardless if the weather gives you a bad hand, definitely try to make the most of it. I mean, there may be local attractions you can go see, and while it may not be the total camping experience, you might have been able to see something that you never saw before or visit a place that you may never go to again. Another thing to consider is food prep. Do you have things that you can make easily? Are there things that you can make at home and get ready before you head out? Those will save you time and space and give you less things that you have to worry about when you're supposed to be relaxing. And also something to consider is how are you going to prepare your food? Do you need to keep it cold? If so, how are you going to stock your cooler? How are you going to get it ready to take and possibly sit over a weekend in a cooler at a campground? On the flip side, on your RV, do you have enough propane to cook what you need? Are you taking a stove with you? Do you have fire starters for cooking outside? There's all kinds of things to consider when it comes to eating. You want to have good food, you want to have nutritious food to refuel you while you're out there exploring. We like to hit the trails when we're out camping, so we try to take vegetables and fruits for quick little snacks. We also take mixed vegetables and proteins like jerky and other things like that. So we don't have to necessarily have a meal, but we can stay refueled while we're out there. So let's get back to weather real quick. Do you have a weather radio or any kind of apps on your phones or mobile devices that can let you know if severe weather is coming? It's important to know because it could be a nice sunny day and you're expecting a wonderful weekend, but you could be in the mountains and all of a sudden it decides to snow or sleet. Or you could be near the beaches and decide to be a bad storm. It's never a bad idea to be prepared for the weather. While it's not a frequent occurrence, people do have injuries or worse when they're out exploring nature. So if you're going to go out on a real long hike, maybe leave a note at your campsite saying, we took such and such a trail. And then if something happens and you don't make it back to your campsite, if someone comes looking for you, they will know where to start that search. So one other thing I would like to mention is be sure to try to stay positive and have a good attitude. You're out there to have fun. You're not out there to get miserable. If you're not enjoying it, there's nothing wrong with packing up and heading home. There's always next time. So another good thing to do is take advantage of the knowledge that is around you. If you're in a national park or state park, there's volunteers and rangers that can share information with you about the history of the park, things to see, things to do, things to avoid. Find out if trails are closed, if there's any kind of maintenance that will prevent you from doing things. And if you're at a campground, get a hold of the host. A lot of those people volunteer because they love camping, they love talking to people. Get in touch with your camp host to see if they know any cool things going on, or if they know, like the other places, are the things that you need to avoid or trails closed. You can also visit visitor centers and gift shops in these parks and campgrounds to get information. Camping and getting outdoors should be a time to relax and unwind, enjoy nature, enjoy your friends and family. It shouldn't be a time to get out there and work and work and work. Just try to relax, get away from your everyday life, all of your running around, all of your errands. Just get out there and enjoy some peace and quiet.